something that sometimes rarely comes our way. You see, the biggest challenges in our lives are the times when we must overcome procrastination, but better known to most of us as someday. What is always someday that we will follow our dreams, especially those we had as youngsters when we grew up, but then soon they get lost. Now, and for most people, that someday, unfortunately, never comes. Ask and go to an old folks home. Now, I learned very early that the secret to a fulfilling life is to continuously develop the will and challenge myself to follow and fulfill the dreams I had as a youngster, despite of what else life put on my plate, and I'm sure you have the same experiences. But in the end, it's always my choice of what I eat. And I like to explain to you, because there were so many choices, how difficult it is sometimes to make a choice. You see, it was back in Medford when I was at the mall, and suddenly I saw these two guys get together, and there was these workers, and they were greeting each other. They hadn't seen each other for a long time, and I noticed it was Pat and Mike, because one of them was wearing green, and that one was Pat. So Pat was walking along, and he was carrying something, and Mike says, "Well, great to see you again, Pat. What are you carrying?" "Oh," he says, "a thermos." "Thermos, what's that?" "Oh, you know, one of those bottles you keep things in hot and cold?" "Oh, yeah," says Mike, "I have heard of those. They're really neat. What are you carrying in it right now, Pat?" "Oh," he says, "just a cup of coffee and a popsicle." Well, choices, okay? Now, it was about, not too long ago, at age 55, I was faced once again with such a choice. Another someday had arrived for me, but the question was, will I act upon it, or will I remember it as I should have done it? You see, the following is the fulfillment of that dream. It was back in 1992 when I was first introduced to Rotary by Gordon Hoffenbacher, a local banker and my neighbor. At that time, I was asked by his club to act as a goodwill ambassador on another expedition called World Peace Drive, which took me along the coastline of Europe all the way into Pakistan. Now, we unfortunately were stranded in Karachi for about 6 weeks. Perhaps I was fortunate because I learned a lot about Rotary and the Youth Exchange program, and I thought there was room for some innovation and some new ideas. So I decided to write a program which I then called the International Friendship Program. Subsequently, when I returned from Pakistan, I joined the SeaTac Rotary Club, which had just been newly formed, and decided to make the International Friendship Expedition of the Americas a personal Rotary project and explore the potential of the idea that I had by sharing it with others. Now, after finding a travel partner, since my wife prefers to stay at home and handle communications, we set out to leave Seattle, knowing it would be a tremendous adventure, but hardly able to anticipate what we would experience. Neither, ladies and gentlemen, at the time did I actually realize I would end up at the Calgary Convention about a year later. Now, what I'd like to do is I would like you to, I will show you take you along the coastal highways of the Americas, and a story which is called, in my book, called An Adventureur's Odyssey. Well, that's a new word for you. I made it up. The reason is, adventureur is a combination of the adventurer, the mystique of the adventurer, the daring of the entrepreneur. And if someone could help me to switch on the and pull down the screen and switch on the recorder. Now don't use the wrong button there, because that's the other focus. Just put it where it says on. There you go. Thank you. Is that big enough for you from here?
Sure.
That should be. Okay, now the continent, the Americas. Now, this is a vast continent separated by the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, with a diversity of people, wildlife, and landscapes found nowhere else in the world. Now, the continent is home to 23 countries, of which 3 are inaccessible by road, and these are the Guianas, Suriname, and French Guiana. Now, the diversity ranges from the largest ice fields in the extreme north and the extreme south to the largest river deltas and jungles known as the Amazon. Now, what I will do is I will take you along the coastal highways wherever possible to the other 20 countries. We'll follow the I-5 corridors through Oregon, California to Arizona. We will enter Fuego. We go around Cape Horn, then come back along the west coast with a detour into Bolivia, back to Central America, and then there we go around the Gulf of Mexico to Key West, Florida. From there we go magic and Rotary friendship unfold. Now, starting out in Normandy Park, our first planned stop is southern Mexico, but mainly concerned about safety. The only request I would make when contacting a Rotary Club is, can you suggest a safe place to park with possibly access to a restroom? Now, in Chiapa de Corzo in southern Mexico, we meet up with Gotthold Beutelsbacher, also known as Gotti. He is the district governor of southern Mexico and takes us into Sumadero Canyon by a boat with its walls